precision operation, you're able to identify that, no, this one is this, this one is this, this one is this. Let me keep them. So you keep distance. Now let me tell you something. Marriage, if you want to go into marriage, it is a decision that we make. It is not, marriage is not for mature people.
It's not for mature people.
No,
marriage is not for mature people.
It's for those who are prepared.
Marriage is not for mature people.
No.
It's for those who are prepared. Because if you are prepared, you will face whatever will come.
That is it. But if you're matured,
and you are not prepared,
you are not prepared, your marriage will not succeed. Why? Because you are very, for instance, you love what you are doing.
Yeah.
So when you come to work, you are expecting what you are doing.
Yeah.
You're matured in what you are doing.
Yes.
But you might not be matured in your marriage because when you go to the house, you are so much addicted to your work that you don't even have time for
your wife.
It does not show respect in the marriage. Because what is marriage? Marriage simply means having commitment with somebody.
So you have to prepare.
You have to prepare that this is a woman I want to, I'm ready to marry. So when you are prepared to marry, you know that you are not going to marry a perfect person. So I mean you go into it. You have made up your mind. So things that would make somebody not able to go into it, it will not make you not go into it. Because if you are prepared, your mother doesn't tell you to marry. If you are prepared, your friends didn't tell you to marry.
You will marry.
You will marry because
you will know you are prepared.
You are prepared.
And you can face whatever comes. Not just merely because you are mature.
Because it's a decision.
Yeah.
I want to marry. I have made a decision that I want to marry. I am prepared to marry. That means that nothing comes in between. Nobody tells, hey, now worry na. You made up your mind before.
But doesn't the preparedness come with maturity? No. Once you become prepared,
yes.
Is that not equivalent to maturity?
It says God realized that it is not good for a man to be alone. So a man should get to a place to know that it is not good for me to be alone.
You have to get to a place
where
you know and agree and understand
that it is not good for me to be alone. That means you need somebody. That is one will help you to be able to get what you need.
But not everyone is meant to marry. So those people, what happened to them?
Let me tell you something. If somebody tells you, not everybody that is meant to marry.
Not everybody will even marry.
It's whose theory? It's whose theory? Where is it written?
But can everybody marry? Or is everybody meant to marry?
When he created us, he says, go ye therefore and do what?
Multiply. But you can multiply without marrying. If I impregnate a girl right now, she will multiply. I might not marry her.
Okay. Now, on what basis are you a Christian? Or you are just an ordinary person? If you are Christian, then you are governed by principle.
Okay.
Then you must go by the principle.
Right.
When you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do.
Yeah.
When you have joined, you have become a kingdom son or a kingdom child. What are things that they do in the kingdom?
You have to do.
That is it.
So, based on the kingdom you have principle. To be married before you multiply.
But not to say that when in a course you have a relationship with a lady and in a course you have a child with it. That does not mean that God has rejected you.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that God has rejected you. So it has made this theory has made a lot of people to abort, young ladies to abort because they are afraid.
They are afraid. They are not married. I mean, worry and
so they would rather prefer to abort and go and stand before God, thinking that they are standing before God because they are not nobody sees them. But God that you are going to stand knows that you have aborted, and it's even dangerous. So churches, I want to say this: that churches, please, if people get a long line, get pregnant. It is not the way you treat them. Sometimes it's bad.
Don't sack them.
Don't sack them. Because let me tell you something. People are married who are doing everything to get children. They sleep, have sex morning, afternoon, evening. They are not getting
children.
But let me tell you something. Children are gift from God. We do the sex, but the outcome is from God. So when children come out
of sex,
they are still gift of God. We must appreciate them. The way must not be good. May not be good, but it does not affect that gift that God has given to us. The nature of how we treat such issues makes the young ladies die in the course of aborting because they are afraid that the church that they are in, the principle does not allow that, and the way they will handle them, so they will prefer to abort it.
Abort the baby.
But one thing we are doing is that when you put those mechanisms in place, it does not help them to come out, but rather help them to do things in secret, which is against the will of God.
The will of
and
God.
it brings curse upon them. We are not doing them good. Please.
Apostle, too much sense. Oh, the sense Apostle is putting out is too much.
Yes.
But why you alone? You have too much sense like that.
Because Solomon.
Yeah.
If you check Solomon, if you check David, they are all out. Somebody who says, out of bound children.
Yes.
But
God used
them because they had something to do with God, because they had the sex, but the children that came out of it are gift of God.
So if the church,
because at the end of the day, even especially some of the churches, the man want to marry the person, but it's because they got pregnant before they are going to marry. He says, we won't allow you.
No.
Please stop that. It is not of God. Men of God who are doing that. I don't want to mention churches, but men of God who are doing when somebody, for instance, couples in a relationship want to get married, but the lady get pregnant before the marriage, and you decide not to even bless the marriage because the lady has got pregnant.
Yes.
So you not bless the marriage. So you cancel the marriage, so the woman put to bed. Where is in the Bible was it written? Stop that. It is not of God. God is not happy about that. Men of God, I'm telling you.
It's a very important
message to you that God is not happy about it. Please, let me make it clear.
Please do.
If you are in a relationship, we don't say it openly, because when you're in a relationship and you sleep with the person and you marry the person, it is not a sin in the eyes of God, but it's because when we talk about this, people will go into it and will not marry, and will end up not marrying them, and it's fornication. So we don't encourage people who say marriage after sex. But if the person be in a relationship like 10 years, 7 years, 3 years with a lady, and he sleeps with the lady and marries the lady.
He sleeps with the lady till he marries the lady. God is not against it.
God is not against it. I'm saying this. People, I know men of God who have issues,
but they don't tell us this truth.
But so let the people know the truth and let them decide for themselves. Good. Tell them the truth. Let them know the truth and let them decide for themselves. If they can. So when he is going to deal with it, he know that if I sleep with you and I don't marry you, it's a sin.
It's a sin.
So I'm not sure of myself. So let me remain.
I won't sleep with you. Or I am sure of myself.
I'm sure myself.
I will not.
When you do it and you don't marry, you have an issue because you are fornicated. The spirit that follows that young lady will follow you. The spirit that follows that man will follow you. So if I'm not sure, don't go into it. We must tell the people the truth. Let them decide.
But why are they hiding the truth from us when they are supposed to be telling us the truth?
That is what I don't know. Because let me tell you something. We don't have yellow goat. So if I'm talking, I say, I saw that yellow goat. Do we have yellow goat?
We don't have yellow goat.
I meant you said yellow goat. You cause the person to want to know what the yellow goat is. For instance, if you're giving somebody 10 rooms to take and says, I have 10 rooms. I've given the whole house to you. But there's one room that I've this is key. Don't go in there.
They'll go in.
He would want to know why you told him not to enter into that one room. That is human being for you. He want to know why you said I shouldn't go to that one room. So when you want to cover it, they want to know why you said that. But tell them the truth. That is why it's even good to do sex education in our schools, so that they will know that when you sleep with a boy who his parent is still taking care of him, your life will be aborted, your future will be destroyed. Let them know, so that they will take a decision by themselves and know that it is not good for me to have sex, because if I get pregnant, the boy that I'm going to have a child with might not be able to be in a position to look after me. I won't do that.
You won't do it.
He won't do it. He has made a decision by himself. The same way you don't force somebody to accept Christ. Preach the gospel. Let themselves decide that I want to follow Christ. I have understood and I want to follow Christ. Then the person will follow Christ willingly.
Don't force
them. Please. You see, these are things that we should tell people. Because at the end of the day, the nature of how we do teachings in the church. Now, after 30 years, look at the outcome.
Yeah.
Look at what is happening.
Yeah.
The directors, when you go to the government institutions, the directors and board of directors, they're all elders in churches.
Yes.
But look at what they're doing. Corruption everywhere. Because they proclaim with their mouth, I am a child of God, but it's not in them.
They don't
leave. That they have gone through did not bring the Christianity out of them.
It's not happening.
So now when you go to church, you see slaves. The church has turned people into slaves.
The church has turned people into
slavery. Because if you look at the message that comes, it rather turns them into slaves instead of bringing them into liberty, instead of bringing them into freedom.
Apostle, the sense you are pouring out now, I'm beginning to. Where have you been?
I know that time has come. Now that the time has come that the true believers shall worship God.
Shall worship God.
And in spirit.
I know a lot of ladies will be happy with this thing you've said. They are being tortured in churches. They get pregnant and automatically she knows that my church will ostracize me.
So they have to abort it.
I have to abort it, or I have
and
to
some
hide.
died
Listen,
in the course of even aborting it.
I have witnessed one. Because of the church. Yes, because of the church. She got pregnant, and because of the church and the way the church will treat her, what they will say about her, she has to do one or two.
And you might lose. So what have you done? This is what, and we think it's about God. It's not about God. God is not interested in that. There are some teachings we teach and we think it's from God. It's not from God.
Okay, so Apostle, this is what I would want us to do on subsequent episodes, because you'll still be coming.
Yes.
We need to liberate the people.
That is it.
Let's look for the things that they are telling us to do that do not have Bible basis.
I will.
Or the things that they are not telling us that we are supposed to know.
We will.
Yes, we have to. We have to liberate
That
people.
is it.
Let's call it the liberation movement. Apostle Moses liberation movement. So someone has common sense family. We have liberation family.
It's true.
It's true. Apostle,
yes.
people have to come to you.
That is
Let's
it.
get the numbers. Let's get your location so that those who would want to have more beyond here, they can get in touch.
Thank you very much. My name is
Apostle Moses.
My number is 0558 456 0558 456 778. And then our church